medical aid wherever the needs are greatest. You can be a life.
Wonderful. Let's try that again. Thank you, YouTube, for interrupting my intro with your lousy ads. All right. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. That's Thailand getting hit now. Yeah, okay, let's come on over here to our solar report here and get started. Excuse me. Let's scroll on down here. Here we are, December 30th, 2023. And there's your loop playing for the moment there. And let me make a few adjustments here. And let me get the show started here for just a tad bit. Okay, a lot going on in there, so I'll let your trained eyes kind of look at it there for a minute before I start pointing stuff out. Okay, hope everybody's doing good tonight. Thank you for swinging by, or even if you're watching this later, thank you for dedicating a little bit of your time here to the show here. So, welcome everybody, and let's get started here. So let's pull this down, freeze it on the opening frame. All right, we're a couple frames in here. We're at 248. We'll back up just a little bit, but you can see we have this underway right here. Let's go. There's the first frame right there. Okay, and we'll darken it just a tad and try that. You know what else we need to do is something like this. There we go. Yeah, much better. Okay, so here we are, opening frame. As we proceed here, you can see this little event kind of going off to the right. Small event going on up there as well. Here, okay, now here comes our first event. This is like a slow motion one, and you see the secondary event coming out right here and passing it. All right, you can see this bubble is already passing the first one right here, okay? There's an object right there at the tip of it. Let's try right there. Oops, we get a little wavy line, so what I'm going to do is just kind of zoom into it real quick here, just to point it out real quick, and then we'll move on. Okay, you can see it right down here, round spheroid shape. And we'll go like that, just to tint it out a little bit so you can see it. All right. And then there's another one right in here, okay, coming out right there. So as this proceeds on through the frame, here you can see another one coming out right here, and you can see this plasma damming up on the backside of it, okay? It's moving out slower than the rest of them, and the CME and solar wind is going past it faster than it's moving out and damming up on the backside of this third object. So we have, here's a good shot of this one right here. Let's do the baby line here a little bit here. All right, it's kind of showing up pretty good there. Camera's almost too good. It's capturing all the interference too. But here we got another capture of an object right there. And then as it proceeds on out, you can see we had something over here in this vicinity. Here's the backside of this object right here. Okay. And let's see Tamethyst go over any of these people explain why we have a backward C-shaped CME with plasma damming up on the backside of it. The only way that could be happening is because there's an object right there. Okay. All right, so I kind of proceed through that. Let's pull back a little bit here. Scroll down and start the movie again. So our main event right here, this 1-2 punch, boom and boom. That looks like it might come our direction a little bit and give us a glancing blow. So we'll go check out the tracker here in a little bit and see if they have any updated data. But for right now, there's your December 30th. A couple more objects here, a bunch of them actually, causing a bunch of activity on the sun there. Okay. All right, let's move on here. And come on over to the solar ham here. And as you can see, here's today's box. There's our activity that we just looked at right there. And already going into tomorrow, we have a little small spike, but nothing too major today. Nothing into the M class at all. So, but it's still, if these are earthbound, it's still energy. Even little amounts like that, don't help. Okay, so right now they're forecasting nothing for as far as geomagnetic storms. We were watching last night. There might be an impact around the first. Okay, there wasn't too much today, but there still might be a little bit inbound for the first, and I don't think they're compensating for it. We could have a G1 right there. Let's go on down here to our KP index. Really, really low. Really, really quiet right now. Here's our auroras. Okay, they were pretty faint earlier. Now they're coming back to life again. They're getting vibrant and thicker and a little green now. So the energy that's coming our way is we're taking on a slight bit more. Okay, whatever we're taking on a slight bit more, nothing too much. It's very mild. It's down in this range right here at the 1. So, but you can see it's not totally gone. We do have some going on. Okay. The main concern here is this big sunspot, 3514, that's going to rotate around. It's starting to come around the limb here. Okay. And it's already spitting and sputtering. So, where is it? The remains of old sunspot region 3514 will begin to turn back into view during the next 24 hours. A few minor C flares were detected off the east limb on Saturday. Also note that the solar ham far side tracker page, blah, blah, blah. We'll get to that. Okay, well, let's get to the tracker. Not showing anything. Come on, you. And they're not showing much on this side as well, so I guess they're not expecting any earthbound CMEs, which that's on this instrument. It's still, we could still catch a little glancing blow or whatever. We also have that coronal hole that's facing us, so that could, amplify things just a tad bit. Yeah, there's nothing really on the tracker right now, so hopefully that's the truth and it's good news. It seems to me we had just a little bit of energy still coming our way, but let's finish up here. Yep, we're done with this page. The Schumann resonance page is back finally. So let's take a look at what we missed out on, shall we? Oh dear. Look at all this. Wondering why you guys have been feeling crappy sometimes. Alright, well, as we pull this up here, let me get a little bit better for you guys here with the scooting of the camera. Alright, there we go. So, coming off over here, you could see as we came into here, we were putting right along. We had these little segmented lines that you see here, these really fine lines coming into this. Then we had a small screeching event right here, and this was screeching right at 7.83 right there. Okay, so right at 7.83, our vibration. It got intense right there and did some scraping up above. We came out of it really weak with another pulse, another really hard on the brakes. All right. Week after that, start to recover, another grinding event. We come out of that, another grinding event, another, just bam, 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 bam. Now, as we come out of this last one, it gets pretty weak in this area right here as we go again, and again, and again. So the core and the shell are really grinding along. That means there's a lot of pressure down below. All right, we've absorbed some more energy. It has finally made it down to the core, and this is an indication that the core and the shell are starting to grind on each other and causing these higher frequency really intense pulses, okay, that emanate from the ground. They go up, they hit the ionosphere, the atmosphere, and bounce back down as an echo. And that's what this instrument detects, is the echoes from the Schumann, from the little dynamo inside our planet that generates a magnetic field. Okay. So, this is the line right here for 7.83, right, going through there. Okay, it's not this one down here. This one is about 13 or 14 hertz. So as it goes down, the hertz increase. This is 0 at the top going down, okay? So we've had some of these events here. This is an indication we have building pressure down below. We have built up pressure now. Let's just put it that way. We have pressure now, okay? Now let's come on over to here real quick and let's talk about what's going on now. All right. A lot of stuff been happening lately, and there's people reporting on this now and stuff, and they're noticing little anomalies here and stuff, and I'm gonna help kind of explain that and clear that up. All right. So, but first, more importantly, is the intensification of this sub-vortex now. It has really grown in strength. Let me do something. Let me take the winds off of here so we can see the coloration. All right. This is what I was worried about, is these, let me get the wavy lines out of there a little bit better. Okay, this is what I worry about, is intensification. This red area connecting up with this one. These high speed, this is the intensity of the winds, okay? The coloration is the intensity of the winds. It's starting to connect over here, all right? And it's starting to connect here. The reds are touching almost, all right? Now, when we put the wind back in, move that out of the way. Now we're going to back out. The other days we were talking about 3 vortexes. The main one, a sub one, and then another sub vortex over America. Our sub vortexes seem to weaken and disappear. I mean, there still is a small flow coming out and going this way, but it's nothing like the other sub vortex on the other side, which now is really fighting for dominance with the main polar vortex. All right. This is a dual vortex. Okay, it's no longer a sub vortex. This is a dual vortex sharing energy down the middle. Okay. Oh boy. Now we'll come back to this. Let's go up here real quick. Now I want to explain something and point something out. Okay, here we are at the top of the planet right here. Let me take the winds off. All right. Very top of the planet right here. The physical axis, the physical North Pole. Okay. And what we have here is the polar vortex usually goes around this area and never across it. I've never seen it go straight across it, okay? This is new now. It's been shunted this way so much that now the polar vortex is crossing the North Pole, okay? And when it crosses the North Pole, okay, here's the North Pole. Here's our intersection of lines right here, okay? You see them? Maybe you don't. Okay? And what you're looking at here is the coloration is a difference in wind speed. Okay, a difference in wind speed. It's not the radar of an object in the sky. This is a variance in wind speed. Okay, and now what's happening here is, I don't know if a lot of you understand flying and how a wing works, but when air flows over a wing, it builds up pressure on the front side of the wing, okay? That pressure causes turbulence and air to slow down a little bit right before the wing, all right? It's a pre-pressure wave. It's a high pressure wave that slows down the air, and that's what you're seeing is difference in speed as this approaches the top of the earth, okay? Now you see the wake of the wind coming off. Whoopsie, let's go right about there. It's good. All right, you can see this wake coming off in V shape like this because of the curvature going on. This is not the surface of the earth, but there still is curvature up at this elevation. All right, this is a level of atmosphere, just like another ring around the planet of air that has pressure variances up there. And now the reason why we haven't seen this before is because we've never seen the polar vortex going right over the North Pole. Okay? It's not an object up there deferring stuff and directing it. It's the actual North Pole. It's the top of the planet. It's you know what this is? Let me tell you something. You know what this really is? This is proof that the planet is not flat, that it's a sphere, okay? Because this is the very top of the planet, and as the air approaches it, it slows down. There's a turbulent area, and then as it goes over the top of the planet, it all conjoins back together into the flow again. Okay, it's not a ship on radar. This is difference in speed of wind. Okay. And it's down at the lower levels and higher levels. Here, look, we'll go over to the upper jet stream. Okay. And you can see how everything swirls around this point right here, right? So that's a difference in wind speed. It's not an object up there. See over here, let me go back to the top again here and take out the wind real quick. All right, now, while we got this up, I want you to take a look at the color graph over here. Blue being slow, white being the fastest, okay? Purple through white being the fastest. You got purple through white going through there. You got right here, right at the top of the ball, a little darker purple where it's starting to slow down. All right. Then as it hits this pressure wave, it really starts to slow down to red, orange, yellow, green until it hits that one little spot right there where pressure, it's like the front side of a wing. If you understood how aerodynamics works and lift, when you blow at a piece of paper hanging from your chin, the air going over the top will create lift and lift the piece of paper up. Okay, that's how we get a low pressure over a wing that creates lift. It's not the air going under the wing pushing the plane up, it's the air going over the top of the wing that literally sucks it up into the air. Okay, and when we have a round, curved surface, still up here in the upper atmosphere, we're talking these winds are going over the planet, still they're creating this little variance in wind speeds right here at the tip of the planet. Okay, it's not a ship. Okay, you guys, I'll show you a ship. You want to see? You guys don't want to see a ship. Okay. All right, so let's put this back on there and come back over to the real thing that we need to, the elephant in the room that we need to talk about now. You see this other polar vortex? It's not polar, but it is another it's fighting for dominance with the polar vortex. Now, what is, when we have this split during the transition season, when we see split vortexes like this, the North Pole is usually right, somewhere, either one side or the other or right in the middle. Okay. But now let's try looking right here. All right. There's no more going around like this. All right. This whole spot has been cut off, and you see this subvortex now fighting over here. What's strange is the pole should be in the middle with the two vortexes on either side, but it's not. The pole is clear over here. We got some issues. This planet has some serious issues. Okay, now what's going to happen here? I'm just going to be blunt force truth with you guys. What you're looking at is going to affect the weather in the northern hemisphere in a new way. Okay, let's just say in a different way now. All right, drastic for these people. Okay, in a way that this is the polar vortex coming down. See this cold air? It's ripping off of Siberia here, whipping it down through the not the tropics, but the subtropics into Japan, China, Korea. All right, this is going up into, it's really kind of looks like it's aiming at China and Russia too, because this part up here is intense as well. All right, so we're seeing this vortex really has increased in strength in just the last 48 hours. Okay, in the last 2 days. All right, before they were of equal size on either side, and now it is all shifted to this one, and now this one is growing in strength. We have these wind speeds in here, purple and starting to turn white in here. Okay, this thing is gaining strength. It's competing with this one. Okay, so we have some issues going on both down below and above that are affecting our polar vortex in a way that is disturbing, really. It looks all pretty and colorful to you guys and stuff, but to somebody who knows what's going, another scientist or somebody who knows what's going on is looking at this and going, oh, okay, because this thing's picking up in intensity, and you've been watching this. I've been reporting on this every night, kind of giving you a heads up so you see it grow and change and stuff. And now we are at this point. Okay, boom, boom, boom. This setup is now dragging an intense part across the North Pole, the coldest part of the planet, or up here right now in the wintertime. Okay, you can see it's dragging across the North Pole because it's creating this wake and the little pressure change right at the very top of the planet right there, right at the top of the ball. Okay, if you're blowing air over a giant ball, there's a low pressure or a little high pressure going to build up right there that creates slower winds. Okay, and then you can see the flow coming off the backside of it. That's that's the wind trying to recuperate and gather and get back into the flow. Okay, it's not a ship. That's a difference. That coloration is a difference in wind speed at the very tippy top of the planet. And it's always there, but the polar vortex isn't always there racing across it. So this little effect isn't always there. It's only when we see the polar vortex now going straight over the North Pole. It's supposed to be doing laps around it like this by this time of the year. All right. Not pulled way off to one side, fighting another subvortex. This could be issues down below. We might have some core issues there, spinning magma down below in a different direction, and it's reaching the upper ionosphere and causing this rotation. It could be from the outside influence too. We ultimately know exactly what's causing this, ultimately. But we'll get there when we get to the spiritual report. So, heads up, everybody. This polar vortex is changing in a way that's no joke anymore. This is serious. Serious for these people here as well as for our country, because we are about to, even though it shows this going backwards, when we go down to our jet stream, doesn't mean the jet stream's going backward, okay? Our jet stream that's down below it is still fighting against it to continue. Now we have this more flow that's coming down and popping back up into California here. See how it's coming down and finally bringing higher winds and more weather to Southern California, as well as through Mexico and right up the East Coast right there. Okay. Thank God this is all coming together and congealing out here over the ocean instead of right up the side of the country like it was a little while ago. Then back here, you can see how it takes all this energy off of our jet stream, this huge jet stream coming off, going across the whole Pacific Ocean, comes right up to America, hits this big trough right here, and boom, gets shunted down and has to pop back up. A lot of the energy gets shunted way down here as well. And let's see here. Here we are, a little lower now, but you can see here is the top of the world and the wind up there and the little wake that comes off the very top of the planet, okay? Let's, yeah, wild jet streams now, okay? So everybody watch your weather closely. In fact, our weather forecast has changed now. So we'll get over to that here in a minute. First, let's take a peek at our volcanoes here, which are also picking up in magnitude and frequency as well, because of the pressure down below. Okay, here we go. Let's dive on into Fiji. I got to go to Fiji when I was a teenager. What an awesome place this island is. Oh my gosh. Anyways, let's get to it. Boom. Let me do a little adjusting so we get everything in the screen here. All right, looking good. 4.5 down at 599. That's basically 600, okay? So we have a very deep quake today here, a 4.5. Which is kind of typical. Lately, we've had these mid-range 4s down deep that bring up 5 energy to the surface, right? So let's come on over here. We got a 4.9 at a depth of 10. You know what we do with 0.9s around here. Let's come on over to this side, shall we? There we go. Right here we have, boom, 5.1 down at 141. So say at the surface, this is even stronger, 5.2 at the surface. So a 5.1 though, down at 141, relieving energy along our plate boundary. Popping up to here, 5.2 down at 93.1. See the same energy going right up through the system right here, dumping off a couple smaller, 4.4 and 4.9. What do we do with 0.9s around here? Okay, now over to our big one. Wait. Big one. Here we have our 6.3 down at 39.1. Our big quake for today. There is your increase in magnitude. Okay. And also these other fives. We've had more fives than 4.5s. Okay. Now, our big quake right here had this little tsunami warning on it. So let's go just peek at it real quick because I like to peek at things sometimes. Because, what does that number say? It says 6.5, doesn't it? Could have swore they said 6.3. So, I'd say we probably have us a 6.5. Honestly, come on. We probably have us a 6.5. It was enough to set off a tsunami warning. There was no tsunami, but it was enough to set off a warning. That means it's bigger than 6.3. It's a 6.5. And the depth is 6 miles. That's very shallow. Now, I want to come back to this. All right, so 6.5, our bigger quake today. And notice how quiet this area is right in here. Usually we have this weak spot right here firing off. We have another new weak spot over here that could be firing off. We have the fulcrum point at Taiwan that is yet to be released some energy at that spot, excuse me. And then we have these smaller quakes up above. So let's go check them out real quick. Whoa, come here, you. That hurts your eyes. All right, here we go with a 4.9 down at 52.5. You know what we do with 0.9s around here. 4.4 down at 54. So your mid-range 4 to 5 energy creeping up through this section. Nothing here at the Kamchatka Peninsula. Volcano activity going on there. Nothing really jump over. Let's see what we have, though, here. 3.7 in a depth of 10. Coming down to our Juan de Fuca spot here. It's a little inland this time, not right at our junction, but pressure, if it doesn't release it and this is locked up, it'll transfer inland a little bit to the next weakest spot. 2.6, ain't nothing. 3.3, not much either. So pretty kind of quiet on this side of the Pacific Rim right now. A lot of this energy kind of still, come here. A lot of this energy is still kind of creeping its way up through. Maybe jumped here. We have some volcanic activity going on in this region as well. Let's go finish off America, travel down to South America. We got our spot here in Texas. Yeah, 2.9. We have down here on the Cocos Plate, or 4.6. And is that right on the cliff? Okay. It's not right on the cliff, but it's a little under it. Now, while we're here at this stage of the report, I want to talk about something. The waves that hit the coast of California are weather-induced because of the weather. But something I want to talk about is we are having underwater volcano activity. You see it all over the surface. Trust me, there's much more down under the water. One of these days, we're going to have an underwater volcano explosion cause rogue waves on shore. All right. Say we had a big bubble go kabloop right here. Well, it's going to send a wave into this area in shore. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened here in California. That looks like it's more induced by this weather system that's coming in. All right. But in the future here, we also have the threat of underwater landslides, underwater volcanic activity triggering rogue waves. rogue tsunamis, basically. Okay, there won't be an earthquake, there won't be any indicator. It'll just be this rogue wave that washes in. That what you saw in California is God's way of giving a little warning. Don't turn your back on the sea. You people that live too close to the breakers, you're seeing you're too close. um, it's also a warning maybe to start backing away from the coast. Okay, because what are you going to do when we have a volcano? Let's just use this region for right now. Okay, um, let's come over to these guys right here. These little underwater seamounts, say this biggest one right here, just boom, all of a sudden did an underwater blast that sent a big shock wave and a bubble that sent a tsunami into this coastal region right here. They wouldn't have much time to get away. Okay, you see how it gets shallow in this bay, this shelf. So it's going to gain strength and height right here and come crashing into this area if there were one right there. All right. And it would catch people off guard. They wouldn't even know there was a volcanic blast yet. And the wave would hit them first, and then they'd be like, huh, what's going on? Then you'd see pumice out here, pumice raft or something from where the blast was. Okay. So right now I'm giving you guys a warning. Be careful around the seas. The oceans, the seas, and the waves are roaring. And that's because of the storm activity, you know, wind generated waves, okay, tidal surges, as well as gravitational surges when these objects go by. Much like our moon controls our tides, these objects, when they pass, have performed this tidal retreat where water will wash away for miles and miles, leaving everything barren. And they're going, hey, is there a tsunami coming? But no tsunami comes. Then the water simply rises back up and goes back to the shoreline. There are all kinds of different factors that are causing these effects on the oceans. Okay, so let that be a warning to you guys to don't turn your back on the ocean. Be very aware of what's going on the ocean, the storms that are coming in, the earthquake activity and volcanic activity in your region offshore, the potential. Okay, so it's not the best idea to be close to the beaches anymore. Okay, because we have multiple factors that can cause flooding, coastal flooding, and rogue waves. All right, now I said that. Let's move on here to, oh, let's just check out these. Go check out Hawaii because it's kind of coming to life here a little bit. We just had a new quake right here, 2.7. 2.5, 2.59, 2.8. All right. So a little bit of activity going on the main island. It's a volcano. All right. That's an indicator that our volcanoes are there's magma pushing up through all these channels, these vents now. And that pressure I showed you building on the Schumann, we're going to start to see increase in volcano activity as well. Okay. And then as more comes in from the sun. Oh, no, 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 no. Please, Lord, bring it back. This page sometimes. So many ads that, come on now, bring it back, Lord, please. Anyways, so this pressure that's building down below is really going to start affecting the earthquakes, the volcanoes. Here's our forecast. Let's just, I want to back up. I want this site. So can we please have it, Lord? I will wait in your time, Lord, in your time. Oh, thank you. Get rid of that and come on over to already today, December 31st, last day of 2023. And we already have Kloicheskoi going off. Ducono, Nevada del Ruiz, 24,000 feet. There's a jump in altitude. Reventador, 14,000 feet. Sabancaya. All right, let's get to the 30th here. All right, so again, Kluchevskoye going off up in the peninsula there, 20,000 feet. Okay, that's a pretty big blast out of that one. 15,000 for Ibu. Okay, Semaru still going off. Marapi. When we get this, Marapi still going off here. If it'll let me scroll some more, please. There we go. A bunch of cool tractor house stuff. All right. Ducono, explosive eruption from the volcano persists, 12,800 feet. Kilauea, dude, add Kilauea to the list. An elevated seismic activity started the south of the volcano's summit yesterday. Instruments detected a significant spike of ground uplift. Of what? Ground uplift. Why? Because stuff down there is swelling and expanding. Okay, it's hitting the underside of the crust and pushing it up, causing ground uplift. Kilauea, everybody at Hawaii, wake up. Kilauea has ground uplift. That means it's pressure down below. And it's, it's gonna vent somehow. If the volcano's plugged up and it can't have a volcanic explosion, you'll see some intensifying earthquakes there. But watch out for a blast now coming out of Kilauea pretty soon. Popo still going. Fuego, 16,000 feet. Here's Nevada del Ruiz, 22,000 feet. So that's the 30th was 22. The 31st was 24. So we're seeing a bigger height because of the pressure. Sangay going off again. Reventator, 15,000 feet. Sabancaya. I would not sit on that thing. I don't know why they keep showing it. All right, so that is it for now. What is that, a trailer hitch or something? I don't know. Pretty weird. It looks like an old tractor seat. We got these old tractors out here in Nevada that have metal seats similar to that, but I doubt if that's what that thing is. It looks like it goes to this table or whatever. Anyways, lots of volcanic activity, also increasing in height. New ones coming online. New ones like Kilauea. Okay, so everybody start watching the volcanoes closely. If you live near that stuff, be alert. You can see activity around you. All right, now let's get over to our forecast here. I'm going to go ahead and start this loop real quick. And just watch this, you guys. Notice the change. There's one right there. There's two. There's three. And four. The other day, this was showing it was going to be clear for like the next couple weeks. I could have swore this thing changed pretty quickly overnight. Don't you think? I mean, you guys were here last night watching it, and some of you were. All right, let's get into this. Here we go. Wow. Amazing. If this stuff comes to fruition, we're going to be in trouble. All right, even though the polar vortex is not like diving right at us, we're still getting the backlash as far as crazy jet stream. Okay? Crazy jet stream bringing in stuff. All right, here we go. This is current conditions, nighttime of the 30th. As we go into the morning of the 31st, into the noontime, convection. You see snow building up here, back east, western New York, Pennsylvania area, Great Lakes area right there. Then we go into the nighttime of the 31st. Happy New Year. That'll be the morning of the 1st. The noontime of the 1st. Convection, nighttime, morning of the 2nd, noon, convection, onshore coming here on the 2nd at convection. They're getting intense weather here on the west coast while we have this stuff blossoming up, coming up into Texas here by the nighttime of the January 2nd. As we go through the morning hours of the 3rd, noontime here, you see this stacking up here, all this moist air, severe weather here out in the Gulf coming onshore to Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, where they all meet right there by the noontime of January 3rd. Skirting along the coast is convection. We have snow moving into the Sierras there. The nighttime of the 3rd, we still have severe weather crossing Florida, going out into the Atlantic there. Now, that's the morning of the 4th, noontime, convection, nighttime, morning of the 5th, noontime, convection. You see how this is coming together here between the morning to the noon to convection. Then nighttime it blossoms even more. We have severe weather coming off of Texas into Louisiana, Arkansas right there. Then getting severe further down into the tail as it picks up more moist air off of the Gulf, hitting Louisiana, Mississippi. Okay. Then, boom, this is the noontime of the 6th with severe weather. This is a pretty broad area now. It's broadening out. We got just the backside of Mississippi here, but mainly Alabama and off the coast right there as it goes from noon into convection here, the end of convection here. This is going to be January 6th with severe weather as this low starts to wrap up and get organized again. You can see its small little comma tail coming down here. Severe weather, northern Florida, Tampa Bay coming in there, wrapping around to the backside, northern Georgia, South Carolina, even Tennessee. Watch that area now because this is really getting closer to fruition as we go through this. Now, this will be the nighttime of the 6th. So let's back up. So from the noontime, we have this massive area going through convection into the night. Major snow on the backside here, dark blue right in this area right there. Okay, so that's going to be the night of the 6th right there through Tennessee, Virginia. That's the morning of the 7th with severe weather still on the coast, but this snow. Don't forget about the snow on the backside of this, okay? There's 2 colors, blue and green. Lots of rain, lots of snow. Still a little chance for severe weather during the noon of the 7th. We have this storm front moving into California, Nevada here, driving down pretty far south. This is going to be our next bowling ball that comes through here. So, there is the nighttime of the 7th, the morning of the 8th, noon the 8th, end of convection the 8th. Then by the nighttime of the 8th, between noon here, these 2 air masses colliding around noon, going convection right there, and then blossoming harder at nighttime down here in the warmer zone. And we're talking Arkansas, Texas, up into Missouri. Okay, this whole region, and this could be bigger. We'll follow this closely, but this is our next monster moving through. Tight millibars means huge winds. Okay, there could be derecho type event possibly with this too. Okay, so as we continue here, this is the nighttime of the 8th going into the morning of the 9th. Now this might catch people off guard. This is going to be, the wee hours of the morning when, this will be 6, 7 o'clock right there in that time frame. People waking up to very severe weather through Mississippi, Alabama, up into, what is that, Illinois and Indiana. Well, yeah, a little bit up into Iowa. No, that's not Iowa. But anyways, this whole region right here, under the gun here, by the morning of the 9th, all right? And this is blossoming overnight. So you'll see it coming right there at convection. Then during the nighttime, you're going to have, nocturnal thunderstorms, possible tornadoes, and then boom, right there, the morning hours of the 9th. Going into the noontime, okay, this is when the sun's at its highest. The Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, just one big patch right there. Lots of snow, lots of high wind snow going north, south, Minnesota, Iowa, just that whole region. That's one big storm right there. Then that's the noontime. As we go into convection now, this is when cloud tops should be at their highest. We have severe weather back down into Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, icing events up into New York, massive snow up through Canada, down into the North and South Dakotas, the whole region. Boom. Then we go into the nighttime. There's some of this goes offshore, but there still are chances up in this region now. The energy kind of shifts a little further north to Pennsylvania, West Virginia. Then it goes up into New York there by the morning of the 10th. Into the noontime, it goes up into Maine. And then by convection, still severe weather here, chances in Maine at the end of convection on the 10th. The nighttime, and then by the morning of the 11th, it should be out of there with what? Another low, cold, deep low coming in here. And as it moves in right here, let's back up. This is the end of convection, January 11th, right here. This cold air mass and this moist air are coming together at the end of sundown. As they go into the nighttime right there, they merge with icing in the middle. Then the severe weather blossoms back down in here. Florida Panhandle, southern Georgia, Alabama area, the 12th. That's the noontime right there, going into convection, going nighttime, into the morning of the 13th. Let's pray this doesn't come to fruition. This is pretty far out still in the forecast and has the will change. It will change. But for right now, this event could possibly come up into this area and wreak havoc again here. So a lot of active weather coming our way as a result of the bipolar vortex. That's what we should call it. The bipolar vortex. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll change the name of this, retitle this bipolar vortex, because that's what it is. All right. All right. So there's the morning of the 13th, just slamming the East Coast, going into the noontime, going right up into Maine again. This area just got their butts handed to them, and here it comes again. Oh, that's by the end of convection, moving out the nighttime of the 13th. But the 13th, watch out in the East Coast. We got another storm coming over here. Boom. That'll be the 14th. That's convection. Night of the 14th. Morning of the 15th. Noon. Convection. And that was it. All right. So let's go ahead and let that loop run again real quick there. I'll actually zoom in on that loop there for a minute and just let you guys look at that for a minute while and get prepared for the spiritual report. I hope you enjoyed the solar report, earthquakes, weather. Hopefully it's all making sense now. You guys are starting to figure out how all this stuff works and, the side effects, the cause and effects of what the sun does and how it can influence our weather. Weather as well as earthquakes and volcanoes, because we are taking in more energy than the output. And something else that we're already seeing, and I'll show you some examples here pretty soon, is plasma emitting from the ground. Okay, pretty soon, if it doesn't release in volcanoes and in earthquakes, that pent up kinetic energy, electric energy is going to escape the surface in the form of static discharge, basically lightning coming out of the ground, especially like mountaintops or volcanoes. Okay, and there's a couple instances that have been caught on video of these mountaintops spewing lightning All right, it's not a volcanic eruption with a bunch of ash around it causing lightning. The mountain is not erupting, it's actually spewing lightning. All right, so we're starting to see the overcharged effects in the form of static static discharge, basically giant static discharge in the form of lightning emitting from the ground. Okay, there's too much pent up and it's not getting released fast enough, or enough pressure at a time, and causing that'll be something else to look for here pretty soon in the future. It's already started to happen. I'll find a couple examples and bring it to you here soon again. Anyways, so there's your forecast. I forgot to do my job and get some of these sites out of here. Yeah, it's good to have the Schumann back. That site was down for a while, and it's a Russian site. And I was a little worried if we were ever going to get to see this Schumann instrument again, because it's a very important instrument in our report. So I'm thankful that that's back. All right. Also, this Null School, you guys come over here and play with that instrument, get to know it. That's a good one. Let me get that out of there, and we'll keep that one out. The volcano one eats up a bunch. All right, now let's just come on over here, open up my page, and we'll do a spiritual report. Oh, I forgot to get the right one. All right, well, we will just pick one out. Yeah, double polar vortex. It's more like bipolar vortex, huh? In fact, that's an effect that's happening worldwide because people have been brainwashed by the media, and they're having side effects from that, bipolar side effects. Let's go to one that would be a little bit better to look at now that we got a new camera. Which ones were hard to see? Oh, yeah. Which one was that? Oh, here's a cool one. There we go. Let's back this up a little bit here. Yeah, this is a reoccurring face that I've seen many times here. Let me get the volume going on this. I shouldn't have taken my speaker down. I forgot I was going to need it for later. Alright, here we go. Another arm going back up. Alright, let's just go back to the very beginning here. What's going on with sound? Howdy, folks. Welcome back. So this is an image I caught from a few days ago, and it's got a little character in here that's been reoccurring in this last week. And if you can't see it yet, I'm going to start pointing it out here, and pull it over. And we're looking at this round face right here with an eye and a button nose, and it looks like he's almost a smash face, almost like a pug or something with a human face. Here's his mouth, and he's kind of sad. He's looking down kind of sad, and you can make out what look like horns or something coming off up there. So I'm going to pull it over a little bit more, and we'll zoom in on it. All right, hopefully you guys see this little guy, this little character here. Let's try to do it without the wavy lines, though. Yeah, anyways, that's another reoccurring face that shows up in the clouds, and this is the one time I captured it here. It almost reminds me of something like out of a Salvador Dali painting or something like that, this little sad face up there in the sky. But let me just finish playing that. Okay, here's his eye, here's his other eye, and his nose, and he's looking down this way. And then as we pull back, you can see that he's a face in the clouds, like a planet or something with a face on it in the clouds. We'll pull back more. And then what's going on here? There's his mouth, and he's kind of sad. He's looking down, kind of sad. And you can make out what look like horns or something coming off. Hang on here. Let me get this face one more time right there for you. There it is. All right. Hopefully you guys can see that little character right there. And, you know, I don't know how this fits in and stuff, but that's just what I'm capturing. Okay. The oddest stuff. And I've seen that face a few times. Okay. So he's a reoccurring face. It's not just once. I haven't captured it a bunch of times, but I've seen it. All right. So there's that little guy that maybe we haven't seen clearly before. Let's come back to the page. And find something else. What else do you guys want to see? Write in the text or in the chat room something that you haven't seen before that maybe the new camera will help you see. You know, is it this one, Christmas gift? That one we've all seen probably. This one's pretty easy to see. Let's do Mary. This one was a little harder to see, so let's try that one.
This smells like
oh boy.
in here.
My egg buddy went bad.
We made those like 2 weeks ago.
All right, here we go.
Folks, welcome back. So I've been going through some of the old photos and running them through the filter, and this was one of the first ones that I had ever captured. And what's going on here is I'm here on my knees. I'm crying and screaming and praying, all three at once. I was in some extreme anguish. A paranormal traumatic event happened to me, something so unbelievable you guys wouldn't believe it. So if I told you, so I'm going to show you instead. So in this image here, I'm sitting here praying, and Mary's head appears right next to my head, and we're going to zoom in on this. You can't go in too tight on it, but she's looking down at my head this way. Let's see, there's pretty good. And you can make out her eye and her nose coming down, her shawl coming over, and it's in shadow right here. This is a shadow of the inside of her shawl going over her head like this. Here's her eye, her nose, her other eye would be on the other side there. Okay. You can't go in too tight on it. And then also is this white ball with an eye in it, this white orb with an eye in it. Okay, and that's not all, because over here in this corner up here is an angel. The silhouette of an angel with his wings spread, with his back to us, standing in a shaft of light. Here's his head. There's a glow over the head. The wings are extended, and there's a feather coming off. The last feather coming off is crossing over these brown roof tiles in the background here. And you can make out there's an angel right here. And you can even see his head right here. Going a little bit tighter. So there's the angel with his back to us and his wings spread. Yeah, you can see a lot better with the filter. Before it was really faint and it was hard to see. Same with this. This came out a little bit better here. Yeah, there's Mary looking down at my head because I was in anguish. I mean, what happened to me was just so disturbing. I can't even describe it. I was in crying, screaming, and praying, an experience I'd never felt before. All three of them at the same time. It was just terrible. But what happened was I was out in my garage and praying, and my security camera captured this image. And it wasn't until a few days later that I went back through my security camera that I saw this image and went, oh my God, what happened here? So there's that one for the moment. Just real quick, let's zoom in real quick on her, because I want you to see that this little structure right here is actually a tube. It's part of a display that I had made, a three-dimensional replica of a sign that God showed me. So this is a little replica that I had set up in my garage.
It's a three-dimensional display of the sun and Nemesis. Right behind it, there was the little conduit of plasma, which I had that tube taped or stuck in between the two until this went flat and it fell down. But this was sitting in the background, and this is like, I guess, like superimposed or whatever on my security camera. It's just, it is what it is.
Videos to try to describe what I had seen, and that was sitting in the background. So this part right here is a tube that's on the ground. But as we zoom in,
it's not a bong
area right here, this shaded area, the inside of her shawl is not in the garage. That is natural, or that's part of this picture. So that's definitely pointing out that there's something here, and it's, for me, it's easy to see. I can see Mary's face crystal clear. Hopefully some of you guys can too. And it's not just Mary. There's more to it than just Mary. There's Jesus too. So don't think this is a Catholic type thing or whatever. It has more to do with than you think. So on to my next picture. Okay, in this image here, you can see we're still in the garage with our same display right here. And this was actually captured the day before the other picture, but I hadn't found it for years later until I was digging around through my, my old pictures and stuff, and went even further back to see if I'd missed anything. And I captured this one, and we're gonna zoom into this streak right up here, this one right here. Bear with me for a second here. Now, hopefully, you can see that we have a lady's profile here. Here's her eye, here's her forehead, her snub little nose, here's the bottom jaw, she's smiling, she's looking down, and she's holding a baby, and here's the baby's head right here. Here's the face, the back of the head, here's her arm cupped around like this, and she's holding the baby. Now I'm gonna run this through the filter real quick, and it's gonna enhance it, but a little bit too much. But see, now you can really make out her profile a lot better and see her face, and her headdress is coming over and going down back behind her. And you can still make out the baby's head right here. And maybe if I pull back a little bit, there we go. And this was captured on October 4th. So this was about 11 days after the Revelation 12 sign. All this stuff started happening to me just prior to the Revelation 12 sign, and then right after it. So it said the woman was about to give birth. Well, it looks like maybe she gave birth, and here's the little baby being caught up to God. Yep, it's a lot better there. Hopefully you guys can see this a little bit better now than before. We'll undo the filter real quick just so you can get the original. Now you can see the baby's head just a little bit better. You can make out his little ear. And then we'll put the filter back in again. And there we go. There's your Revelation 12 baby being born right there in my garage, caught on my security camera. So that's it for now.
Okay, so yeah. Looks like the images are coming in clear, except we have to deal with wavy lines now, but there's always a trade-off, so I'm willing to accept that trade-off. Hopefully you guys are you're able to see these images a little clearer now than we had before with the rusty old camera. And we're going to read to this one. No, let's go read to this one. Where to go? All kinds of stuff I've been capturing in the clouds. You got to come over and check out some of the stuff some of the time.
If I don't have any, but the time credit builder card.
Oh,
That direct
geez,
deposit.
really? You guys and your commercials. Yeah, I can't click out of this one. Yeah, build credit. You know what? With limited time left, you might as well go get a bunch of credit and buy yourself something nice. All right, here we go. Let's just get this image up there. Boom. Okay, there's our father pulling his shirt open like Superman, because he's Superman. creating the waves coming off of his heart. Or here, let's we're a little too close right there. Let's go this size right there. That's a little bit better, I think. Yeah. All right. So there he is, pulling open his shirt, exposing his heart. His heart's emanating out these waves, making my face in the sky there. Pretty crazy stuff. Don't ask me why he's wearing sunglasses. I just take the pictures, okay? This stuff is what it is. Okay? That's all I can say. All right, let me get some light going here and we'll do a reading real quick. All right, hope you guys, most of you people that are here have already seen this, so this is more for the people that are tuning in, watching it later. We have some newcomers, folks, so we got to kind of rehash this stuff for some newcomers. Alrighty. And we have some new people that received their gift as well. I'm so happy for them. I'm so happy for the people that received their Christmas gift. Because not everybody got it. They saw it, but they didn't receive it. Okay. Now, let me see where I had a certain setup I wanted to do this time. Give me just a second here because I want to get my... yeah. Okay, here we go. I'm going to take a little sip here too. All right, everybody can see. Everybody can hear. Okay, hear my voice. Stay alert and be persistent in your prayers. With my spirit's help, you can learn to be increasingly wide awake to me. This is not an easy assignment because the world is rigged to pull your attention away from me. Excessive noise and visual stimulation make it hard for you to find me in the midst of your moments. Yet I am always nearby and near as the whispered prayer. People who are in love yearn to be alone together so they can concentrate intently on each other. I am the lover of your soul, and I long for you to spend time alone with me. When you shut out distractions to focus only on me, I awaken your soul to the joy of my presence. This increases your love for me and helps you stay spiritually alert. Praying becomes easier when you are aware of my radiant presence. Praying not only blesses you, but provides an avenue for serving me. Rejoice that you can collaborate with me through prayer as I establish my kingdom on this earth. I will be your guide even to the end. Rejoice that the one who leads you through the day, each day, will never abandon you. I am the constant you can always count on, the one who goes before you, yet remains close by your side. I never let go of your hand. I guide you with my counsel, and afterwards I will take you into glory. Many people are overly dependent on human leaders because they want someone to make their decisions for them. Unscrupulous people can manipulate their followers to do things they wouldn't freely choose to do. But everyone who trusts in me as Savior has a leader who is completely trustworthy and dependable. I guide you with my truth, and I teach you my precepts so that you can make good decisions. I've provided you with a wonderfully reliable map, the Bible. My word is a lamp to your feet and a light to your path. Follow this light and follow me, for I am the one who knows the best way for you to go. Where am I here? I am leading you along a way that is uniquely right for you. The closer to me you grow, the more fully you become your true self, the one I designed you to be. Because you are one of a kind, the path that you are traveling with me diverges increasingly from that of other people. However, in my mysterious wisdom and ways, I enable you to follow this solitary path while staying in close contact with others. In fact, the more completely you devote yourself to me, the more freely you can love other people. Marvel at the beauty of life intertwined with my presence. Rejoice as we journey together in intimate communion. Enjoy the adventure of finding yourself through losing yourself in me. Um, as this year draws to a close, receive my peace. This is still your deepest need, and I, your Prince of Peace, long to pour myself into your neediness. My abundance and your emptiness are a perfect match. I designed you to have a no sufficiency of your own. I created you as a jar of clay, set apart for sacred use. I want you to be filled with my very being, permeated through and through with peace. Thank me for my peaceful presence, regardless of your feelings. Whisper my name in loving tenderness. My peace, which lives continually in your spirit, will gradually work its way through your entire being. And one extra. Where'd my extra one go? Lord, thank you. There it is. Okay, so as you come to the end of this year, take some time to look back and also to look ahead. Ask me to help you review the highlights of this year, hard times as well as good times. Try to see me in these memories, for I have been close beside you every step of the way. When you were clinging to me for help in the midst of your tough times, I comforted you with my loving presence. I was also richly present in the circumstances that filled you with great joy. I was with you on the mountain peaks, in the valleys, and everywhere in between. Your future stretches out before you all the way into eternity. I am the companion who will never leave you, the guide who knows every step of the way ahead. The joy that awaits you in paradise is inexpressible and full of glory. So, as you prepare to step into the new year, let heaven's light shine upon you and brighten the path before you. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I might not do a show tomorrow night because it's New Year's Eve and everybody will be counting down at midnight when I do my show. So I think we might take a night off and everybody enjoy your New Year's Eve and hold on tight for 2024, folks. Okay? Hold on tight. Things are changing and they're changing quick. So hold on to this for dear life, okay? These images here are to build your foundation rock solid. I need you guys to know that these are real images that I took. This is not Photoshop. This is not computer generated. This is the real clouds. This is, Jesus said you will see him coming in the clouds. Okay, he's using the clouds to show you he's coming. He's here already. If he's in the clouds, he's here. So he's all around, omnipotent. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the show. Actually, a quick reminder, everybody be on your toes now. We got this holiday coming up, and there's a lot of threats and everything. As prayer warriors, you guys can nullify a lot of their effects. We could pray for devices to not detonate. We could pray for plans to be foiled. You guys are powerful when you team up with this man right here. Okay? You and him together make perfection. Use them. Use your prayers for other people, to pray for others in their plight. There's a lot of people around the world that are in a plight. So, okay, that's it for now. I love you all. God bless you all. And until my next show, I'll be back. I'm already back.